Hi, this is Antony from learnhiring.com. We provide training on US IT recruitment and bench sales, H1B work permit preparation, L1A work permit preparation, L1B work permit preparation, US accounts management, US HR generalist, and also US consular visa processing for H1B, L1, H4, L2, B1, and B2 visas. We also provide consultation services to US based companies on the above topics that we mentioned. This video explains the significance of understanding the different IT requirements in sourcing the right candidate for a particular requirement. This requirement analysis will be useful for recruiter, HR, accounts manager, and bench sales manager. This is about me. I worked in US for 7 years and I do have more than 15 years of experience in IT recruitment, US immigration, and software development. I worked as a technical recruiter, bench sales manager, HR, recruitment head, and immigration manager from US staffing perspective. And I worked as a software developer, data modeler, and DBA from the programming perspective. I teach online recruitment training and as well as corporate training to several companies. And this training is not only about end-to-end recruitment process, but it also covers the immigration area and as well as the software development area. In general, clients and staffing companies in US are involved in permanent staffing or temporary staffing for candidates. When I say permanent staffing, the clients or the staffing companies hire the candidates on their own W-2, and on temporary staffing, they hire the candidates on cop to cop or on 1099. For this to happen, the clients either source resumes from their own recruitment team or share it with the vendor. The recruiter, working with the client or the vendor, understands the IT requirement and submits the resume to the accounts manager or the client with the resume and preliminary details. Most of the times, the recruiter is not able to submit the resume in the turnaround time is that because they don't understand the requirement correctly. On this slide, I'm going to cover technical requirement analysis. When I say technical, it's all about IT recruiter or technical recruiter, both are same. The technical recruiter gets a lot of requirements from their account managers or from their clients on different technologies like business analysis, data modeling, project management, development, mobile with iOS and Android, business intelligence, data warehouse, predictive analytics, artificial intelligence, ERP, and content management systems. Here, I have provided one of the top 10 technologies or the techniques that are required to source a resume for the recruiters, but in the real time, they get 100 plus requirements on a daily basis, and a recruiter has to be capable to understand these requirements correctly and to source the resumes within the turnaround time. Let me give you some examples how we have to deal with business analysis, data modeling, and as well as this ERP. When I say business analysis, we get requirements like BA, SME, and as well as subject matter experts. Now, as a recruiter, how we are going to deal with these things? Are these three titles same, or are they different? What kind of skills these guys do have, and what are the sub skills that are required for these titles? And that is what we need to know. And the second one is data modeling. When I talk about data modeling, you have logical data modeling, physical data modeling, relation data modeling, dimensional data modeling, data warehouse data modeling, and as well as data modeling. As a recruiter, one has to understand what is the key thing required to source data modeling resume, and whether the data modeling title and as well as database architect are these titles same, or whether it has got a different meaning. That's what they need to figure it out. And the third one is ERP. You do have so many ERPs like Oracle applications, SAP, PeopleSoft. So when you get these requirements, as a technical recruiter, you need to know what is a functional consultant, what is a technical consultant, what is a techno-functional consultant. Without understanding these titles, it will be really difficult for you to source the right resume. I've only covered three titles here, but when you come and join my class, we have plenty of things to discuss, and I cover 20 plus topics with various examples and with various screenshots. From that, you'll figure out why technical recruitment analysis is most important and why recruiters are lagging in this particular area. On this slide, we will see few challenges faced by the IT recruiter when working on IT requirements. The first one is difficulty in understanding the technical jargons present in the requirements. So when I say technical jargons, they will say end-to-end implementation, scratch-to-end implementation, upgrade implementation. So many things are there. Similarly, software development lifecycle, that is a keyword which is used very often. And these things I call it as technical jargons. Lack of knowledge in various fields of technology skills. So what is the knowledge required for the recruiter? Is it possible to read out or to study or to learn about the thousand plus technologies that are available in this information technology platform? No, definitely it's not possible. So as a recruiter, you need to know what is required, what is not required, what has to be eliminated, and what is that accounts manager is looking for, or what is the client looking for. If you go with this perspective, then you'll become a solid recruiter and you'll be able to source resumes. Difficulty in understanding the role, title, designation. Now, what is role, what is title, and what is designation? From these phrases, are you able to figure out what is actually needed from the requirement? This is where most of the recruiters do their mistakes and they're not able to source the right resume. And the fourth one is understanding the job duty and responsibility of that IT requirement. The first main thing in the IT requirement is to understand the job description correctly, because the job description not only talks about the project description, but it also talks about the expected duties from the client, what are the main eligibility criteria, what are desirable duties, and other things that come in this job description. So first of all, when you start reading out the resume, kindly understand that you have to read out the job description correctly and you have to understand it in a complete manner. Then only to be able to source the right resume. So without understanding the technology from the recruiter perspective, it will be really difficult for the recruiter to source the resume within the turnaround time. In the previous slides, I have covered what are the challenges faced by the recruiter to source the resume and in understanding the IT requirements. Now, whether it is applicable to recruiter alone or whether it is applicable to HR, accounts manager, and bench sales manager also. Now, the conclusion is the recruitment analysis is not only applicable for recruiters but also applies to accounts managers or HR or H&B who are working together. The reason is the accounts manager is the top level position. He gets the requirements of the clients and he passed on to the recruitment team. If the accounts manager is not able to understand the IT requirement, then think this in a different way. How is able to convince the recruiter or how will we be able to convince the recruiter? The recruiter always expects some guidance from the accounts manager on the job description. So if the accounts manager is not able to understand the IT requirement analysis, he will neither convince the recruiter nor he will get the right requirement from the client. Moreover, when the accounts manager submits the candidates for H1B CAT petitions, he need to know in which position that candidate will be working. And apart from that, if an RFP is issued by USAIS, then the account manager has to take the responsibility and accountability for filing all documents required with the visa listing. So it is better for the accounts manager to read out the IT documents correctly. Then next comes the HR. Now what is HR doing in internal hiring? He has to prepare the job description for all technical requirements and he has to circulate that one to the recruitment team so that the recruitment team will start working on those requirements. If something is not understood by the recruiters, they will come to HR and they'll ask the HR to explain about those things. In this situation, the HR has to provide more focus on these requirements because if a small phrase change in the IT recruitment analysis, the whole meaning gets changed, and whatever time the recruiter works in the recruitment, that will get wasted. So the HR has to take care of this recruitment analysis also. And apart from this, we know about bench sales managers who are showing the dedication commitment to close their candidates who are on bench. Now, what is the first thing the bench sales manager has to do? He needs to talk to the candidate, understand his skill set, and according to that, he has to format the resume. And based upon the job requirements, he has to modify the resume and he has to update that one and he has to send it to the clients. In this situation, if he is not able to understand job requirements or if he is not able to understand the skill set of the consultant, then it becomes a real problem for the bench sales manager. It's not only for bench sales manager, the recruiter also faces the same situation while speaking to the candidates or while speaking to the clients. So while speaking to the candidates, he has to get the preliminary details and submit to the accounts manager. So what kind of information is going to get? So whether if he's going to work on Oracle applications, whether the information will be same when compared to a SAP requirement, or if he works on Java requirement, whether it will be same or whether it will be different. So these sort of things the recruiter should know, and then only he will be able to come up in life as a successful recruiter. I have covered 5 or 6 slides, and to put in a nutshell, I have explained the real difficulties faced by the recruiter, accounts manager, HR, and as well as the bench sales manager. So it would be really helpful for me if you're going to watch slide and share your feedback so that I can upload more videos on IT recruitment training. So I sincerely thank you for watching this video, and the information that we provided here is preliminary information. And if you need to know more about the technical analysis, kindly reach me at trainer@learning.com or 90 801 57239. Thanks.